What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Friday night CBSI Hot 10 list every week on Tales from the Flipside channel. Well, we were hoping we were going to have Ben in the house tonight, but he had something that had him take him away. Shout out to everybody that's joining us with us tonight. We've got the one and only Mighty Mel V, Drunken Chat Son, in the house. We are joined by the extra special guest, Ultra Maximus, here to help us out tonight. Make sure you guys check out Drunken Chat after the show and also check out Ultra's own channel. And give both those places a subscribe, Mighty Mel V and Ultra's channel. Make sure you guys check out the Wednesday night presser and make sure to like and subscribe on this show. Let us know how we're doing. Tell us what we can do better. We appreciate you guys. Last week, we were trying out some new software, and we're going to wait till we can get it just right and that it works really well before we air it out. So we're going to keep it nice and simple tonight. CBSI, Comic Book Invest, Hot 10 list, written every week by the one and only Ben Stein. You guys, why don't we just get right into it? Let's get into the honorable mention.
It's Drunken 10, son.
Here we go, guys. All right. The honorable mention this week, Golden Age honorable mention, Famous Funnies, number 212. This is a Frank Frazetta cover. Anything that has Frank Frazetta tied to it, whether it's a cover, whether it's old school barnyard animal drawings, whether it's Conan or some badass cover, it's going to be worth some money. But 2 copies sold this week of Famous Funnies 212, a 5.5 on Heritage for $3,300 and a 7.5 for $4,500 on eBay. So, comparison's sake, a 5.0 sold in September for $2,000 and a 6.0 sold one day before COVID for $886. So, man, I'm not surprised that Frank Frazetta stuff is through the roof. I'm not surprised that it's going crazy. Everybody wants anything with Frank Frazetta on it. I shout out to all the card collectors out there right now. Big shout out to old school Unpressable Defects crew. Mel is in the house. I remember Trey talking about the Frank Frazetta Marvel Masterpieces card back in the day. Even if you can get his autograph on a sports card or a trading card, you want to get it. So, hey, Frank Frazetta, super dope space UFO type, Frank Frazetta goodness.
I never see Frazetta draw anything outside of the jungle, let alone Earth.
It's dope, right? I love this old school, space type stuff. The Frazetta reminds me of really dope tattoo art, like traditional tattoo art for some reason. Yeah. So
shout out to Laura on the cover.
Yeah. Right. Where's Anthony? Anthony's flying after.
Blonde hair, red dress. You know how it goes.
Yeah. So it just goes to prove, you guys, Golden Age is crazy. Golden Age is investment grade books, right? I mean, it's just pick it all up. If you can find Golden Age stuff at a decent price, just pick it up. You never know.
There's just so few of them compared to what we are blessed with in the modern market. So that's why the good ones sell for what they do.
Yeah.
But this is an honorable mention. I hate to see when it makes the list one day.
Oh man, right?
Maybe if it had a Deadpool card in the back.
Man.
Hey, Ben isn't here, man. Where's all this sourness coming from, man?
I gotta represent for me.
Shout out to Ben Stein. We love you, brother. All right, on to the next honorable mention. More Star Wars, guys. Star Wars, the Clone Wars, the Sith Hunters. This is another digest-sized book. We all know that it doesn't matter what type of book it is, whether it's a traditional comic book issue, whether it's a digest-sized book, whether it's a magazine, whether it's foreign. Star Wars stuff is going crazy, and this is another example of that. Anything Sith too, right? I mean, it seems like it's Sith stuff is going crazy.
So let me ask you something: is there a comic inside this, or is this just like?
Yes, there is. It is comic sequential art comics in these. I have a couple. I don't think they're within anywhere down here, but
He said a couple.
not this issue. But I do. I used to collect. Just read the stuff back in the day, so I would
So
get the
like those little Archie shits that you used to get at the dentist.
They're about this thick, and they're about that big. You know what I mean? Like digest size. So, like mini trades, basically. That's what they are. They're like mini trade paperbacks. And this is again Star Wars: The Clone Wars, The Sith Hunters. And it looks like it's about $100 raw right now. It's got a first appearance of Tatsu and Mother Talzin, which I guess, listen, you start hearing about Dathomir and all the heritage of all these characters, and people are getting deeper and deeper into the stories. They're starting to find out more information, and it's piquing interest. So also, it's like cards right now. People are just buying anything Star Wars and going, is this worth something? Is this worth something? Is this worth something? So they're just buying them
after they buy it, though. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I just want to know who raised these two assholes.
Well, you're right. They are assholes. They are assholes. That's for sure, man. Yeah. If you guys don't follow the Clone Wars storyline and the Savage Opress storyline and Darth Maul storyline, you guys need to check it out. It's really worth it.
His name is Savage Opress. That is crazy.
Yeah. So big shout out to everybody that's in the live chat tonight. I see a lot of people who are big names in the community, a lot of people who are content creators on this channel. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us every week. You guys are why we do this. Let us know how we're doing. Give us those thumbs up. Give us those comments. Constructive criticism, we'll take it. We appreciate each and every one of you. All right, before we get on to the rest of the 10, I want to remind everybody, like I said, we're putting out great content on this channel, and there's also a lot of people putting out great content on their own channel. You can check out the Dollar Bin Digging episode 127 from Peter Renna on his channel, Renavision, and also on Tales from the Flipside. And you can also check out 3 Comic Monty over at Chris Nelm's channel, 3 Comic Monty, and on Tales from the Flipside. They both have new stuff coming or that just came out. Cool J.G. Jones interview from the 3 Comic Monty crew. And you guys see what Dollar Bin Digging, 80s cartoons, and Dollar Bin Digging 127. So make sure you guys go check that out. All right, let's get into the list. Here we go, guys. Number 10, Batman 96, the Jorge Jimenez. It's Jorge, I always ask this. It's probably George.
It's probably
Jimenez,
George.
Yeah, 1 in 25 variant. And more Red X stuff, I'm guessing. Is that what we're thinking, Ultra?
Shout out to Richie.
I mean,
shout out to Richie.
Look, even if it's not Red X, it's due. All right.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this one for a while. Clown Hunter is definitely stepping up to the plate, and he's probably the most original Bat character in the Bat family in a long time. And I hate to say it that way, I really do, but the Bat family is very unique. And besides Red X, the whole Red X scenario, which we're going to find out, and look, if you guys are a little bit more bigger on DC than I am, and all I know is whoever was in the room when they hacked the H dial is a potential Red X. But was Clown Hunter in that room when they hacked the H dial? Because if he wasn't in that room when they hacked the H dial, then he is not Red X. But even so, even if he's not Red X, we still have a first appearance of a book with a design variant for a high-selling Joker War tie-in, giving us a new character in the Bat family. And if you read the Bat Annual, that was a really good supplemental story for Mr. Balfam here.
And I know William has one for me. I'm just waiting patiently.
I do. Your other book's got to get pressed, my man.
Well, what's interesting is we saw a rise in price on this one recently. It went from around $50 to $60 to about $80 to $100. So not bad. If you guys have one that you've been sitting on and maybe waiting for another uptick to throw them up there, now's your time. I think I've been pretty honest about this. I really hope it's not Clown Hunter. I really hope it's Damian. We need to inject some more of that energy into DC, and I think Damian's your guy, right?
But again, and to everybody in the chat and to you guys, was was Clown Hunter in that room the night they hacked that Halloween night when they hacked the H dial? Because if he wasn't in that room, he's not Red X.
So what is the answer to that question?
That's a good question.
I mean, what have they said? Who was in that room?
All right. So first off, before I get too much on this tangent, I want to give a shout out to everybody who's putting together a set of these design variants from DC. Massive props to you, especially because now you're collecting all those second prints that just hit. And some of these are common, some of these are not. So I don't know if that's actually what's driving the market on the collectability of a full set, and the fact that we just had a whole bunch more released and people were going after the remainders. But when this started shooting up in price, I even started reading it myself, and I tried rereading it fast enough, but of course I was putting together the presser and I had a lot going on. I read Future State Teen Titans 2, and the way that Dick Grayson says it went down, Dick Grayson says that Red X was there the night they hacked the H dial, and the hacking of the H dial is a very, very big piece of this mystery because it's how all the dead Titans come back in the issue. So they go back. I guess they're going to go back in time again and try to fix it. So I don't know if we're in a time loop, if we're dealing with multiple universe people, or what. I don't know what's going on here because I don't read enough DC to quantify my own opinion as 100% spec worthy. But I did catch this piece, and that is that again, Nightwing. I was going to use one of the horrible names that they put in the book. Dick Stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Beastboard called him. Yeah. So the whole thing is that again, if Clown Hunter was not in the room the night they hacked the H dial, then Clown Hunter's not Red X. Red X is going to be one of those other people in there, and we don't know if we're dealing with alternate universe, time stream, what. So good luck to the spec, and good luck to everybody following. They didn't give us an answer, but they kind of did. They removed his mask and put his face in shadow and gave him some glowy eyes. And I was like, dude, it's Damien because he's got mysticism powers. But no, then Richie was like, no, man, they hacked the H dial. So shout out to Dollar Bin for pointing out the fact that the H dial is what's giving him the glowy eyes.
I kind of agree with JJ Maxwell. He just has fucking X's on his fucking shirt. Is that the same Red X logo?
I don't know. I hope not. I'll be honest. I hope
we'll
not.
See.
Anyways, and on to number 9. Number 9 is Amazing Spider-Man 257, and this one is getting hot. I believe because of the Ned Leeds stuff and this all the WandaVision craziness, multiverse stuff, and bringing in some talk about Ned Leeds and the MCU, and I don't know what I think about it, but I'm with Ben. Ben says that it seems like a stretch to him for Spider-Man 3, but you never know what's going to happen with all this multiverse stuff. But this book is up from about 10 to 15 raw to 25 to 30 raw, and it is the first appearance of Ned Leeds as Hobgoblin. So
I remember in the 80s when this book was fucking huge.
Yes.
And shout out to Eric Hurd. He was telling me about Ned Leeds 2 months ago, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
And you know what? The only thing that I can piece together, and shout out to Eric Hurd for that too. Hey, what up, Lucas?
Lucas in the house.
The only thing that I can piece together is that maybe they show us a Ned from another dimension that turned into Hobgoblin, and our Ned won't necessarily be Hobgoblin, but we'll see a Hobgoblin. And then that will be like a future version of himself or whatever. Who knows? We have no clue. It could be a 3-second flash that we get. And with Tom Holland out there right now saying, hey, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are not in Spider-Man 3.
He's lying.
Well, we know he's lying, but still, the possibilities are infinite. I mean, there's so many different ways they can play this one.
Right. But you got to remember that they've actually taken most of the script away from Tom Holland because he has been prone to spill secrets and leaks. Mm-hmm. So they'll give him like a very short thing and they say, this is what's happening here, but they won't tell him anything else.
That's fucked up.
Have you ever noticed have you guys ever noticed how much scripting he is actually given in a movie?
bro. They just say, "All right, Tom, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna raise your eyebrow like this, and then that's it. And that's a wrap. And then go back to your trailer.
Just show up here.
Yeah.
Where?
All right. Well, I can sense my inner ghost tingling for number 8. So
Yeah.
Well, here we go, guys. Number 8. You've been talking about it all night. It's in the chat. The card craziness. And there's nothing out there quite like what's going on with this Deadpool crazy card stuff. And, we were seeing, $200, $300 sales on this card, which people I don't think realized came in the people that were buying the cards. I don't think they realized that it came in these polybagged editions and how many of them are out there. And, they were just buying. And this is the type of stuff we see when you have a run on hobbies or collectibles like this, and people don't know what they're getting into. For the longest time, the sports cards and the comic books, never the two shall merge. And now the sports cards collectors are starting to hear about it because of, the Marvel card craziness, the DC card craziness, the Marvel Masterpiece craziness that's going on right now.
This is the equivalent of GameStop. Stop this shit right here. This fucking card. This shit is so crazy. I was looking at it. I was like, is this a promo card that I don't know about?
No, there's no promo card. Unless there's somebody in the chat talking about he put the preview version of this card on IG. It was from that guy DZ. Is he talking about I don't know where a preview version would have been found, because they didn't offer one even in the previews magazine. But I will tell you this. It's a secret ploy to get you all to debag all of your Deadpool X-Force number 1s to make theirs less common and more rare. And now all of a sudden the bag Deadpool X-Force number 1s are super duper rare because y'all just broke them open. So congratulations, y'all played yourselves.
This card is going for 100 steady. Like, I can find mine tomorrow.
No,
hold on. Let's listen. This is the great thing about this channel. We have the ability to bring up eBay as we go, you guys. So we're gonna bring it up. Here we go. Here's your prices for the card right now, and you can see here. This is from Ultra Show the other night. You've seen a little bit of a movement on that needle. This is the quote unquote one of the real first cards, I guess, of Deadpool.
Yeah, so there's 3, and nobody likes the first 2.
So you can see this thing is still selling. I don't mind seeing $30 sales. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind.
And from what I'm seeing is it came crashing down like a rock once more came to market. And people started bringing them all to market. And once they all came to market, boom, 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 they started dropping.
Just like GameStop, huh?
Yeah, it's that's basically how stocks work. You can't have this many in the market and expect your price to stay up. So
yeah, supply and demand, you guys.
I'll take $30 for this shit. I just gotta find it. Is $30 worth me going to fucking?
By the time everybody who's watching this show gets it pulled out, it'll be back in the 50-cent bins. And your best bet is to take out the really nice ones that aren't folded in half and grade them.
I still got fucking paybacks I just didn't put up yet. Or I just recently put up. I missed the boat on that shit. It's a choo-choo. That shit. That's a train.
Yeah, we all know, you guys. The thing about this list that we have to keep explaining is that this list, most of this stuff is at its peak. Now, there will be some books that will continue to rise, but most of this stuff is pretty much at its peak on this list. If you guys want to, get books that may have the ability to, gain 3 times, 2 times in a short period, there's other books that you want to spec on for that. I would suggest you guys go check out the top 10 pro spec list from the Modern Play crew. They're killing it. You can find that on the Tales from the Flipside YouTube channel. They drop those every week, and they do a really good job of pointing out books that have good value in the future, that have a chance to maybe rise in value 2 or 3 times what they're worth now. So this list is more along the lines of books that are at its peak now. I'm not saying that some of these aren't going to come down, but these are high books right now. So when we were seeing this card going crazy last night and the night before was at $200-$300. Now we're seeing $30. So remember, like Ultra said, supply and demand. You guys start putting this stuff up, it starts dropping into value. On to number 7. And more big news with Something is Killing the Children. And we're going to be hearing even more about this as the months go by. Shout out to Ross Ritchie and Boom Studios, who are just continuing to do amazing things, doing it like no other publisher is. And, they got the new Berserker out there, doing stuff with Keanu Reeves. Well, of course, we all know that Ross and Boom have something going on with Netflix. So, we're going to be seeing this soon, right?
I mean, I don't want to miss this.
Coming.
Yeah. Shout out to Ross Ritchie. Hit me up. Shout out to Boom. Ross Ritchie coming soon.
This series is honestly it's my biggest regret of not picking up this series.
Dude, we gave out the link.
Yeah. Look, man, I get it. All right, look, it's one of those things. You collect what you like, right? And it just wasn't a book that was appealing to me. And shout out to everybody who's doing real well flipping on the flip side of this book, because this book is apparently treating the aftermarket extremely well. So, kudos to you.
This, like, doing the research for the Melcast last week. Mm-hmm. Reading the book it's really good.
Yeah, this is a great book. I mean,
again,
that's why people love it.
You guys are recommending it, and shame on me for not reading it.
Yeah. Well, let's just look at this. Okay, so Ben writes that 9.8s are now approaching $500. This was a $50 9.8 pre-COVID, and the meteoric rise for an indie title only on issue 14. We got to remember that it's only 14 issues in on this book. The growth on this thing is also organic, right? I mean, we talk about it because it's good, and it continues to be good. So I don't know what to think. Ben asks if it's too high or too fast. I don't know. Does this compare to Saga 1?
Yes. Mm-hmm. If 9H is sold for what, 500, 550? No, 500. We're close to 500.
500. So let's do this. Let's talk about Something is Killing the Children 1. How many variants does number 1 have?
Too many, right? Because there's the second print, third print, fourth print. Then you got the
fifth
local
print,
comic. Yeah, you got
print.
LCSD foil. You have the
foil variant.
FOC Frisian variant is the one that I think everybody is really gaga over.
Well, you would think, right? That was the one that when it came out, it was a $200-$300 book, but then everybody realized there's too many printed, so it went back down. You can get it for like $40, $45 now. But that original, that was it does my heart good to see the original doing a little bit better than some of the second and third prints, right?
Because everybody ordered the FOC print, the Frisian, and not really many people ordered the regular cover.
Right. So once again, that comes back to what I tell people about what happens with some of this stuff, right? So first print comes out. It goes to the store, and then not many people pick it up because they already know that a second and third print. Because remember, when the first print was coming on its way, they had already told everybody, hey, there's a second print and a third print on its way. So a lot of people didn't even pick up the first print because it was like, or if they did, they just only picked up one, right? So what happened to those other ones that are left on the shelves? Well, the stores either return them or just rip them up for returnability. So that means there aren't that many as people would have thought for this freaking book out there for the first print, and that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely amazing. And you guys can see some of the prices. I know some of these aren't number ones, but
there's the foil variants.
Yeah, I mean, you just got some crazy prices.
There's that fourth print.
I had like the NYCC one. I had like maybe 4 of those, and I had this when I first started my new job. I needed haircuts. But I was sold this just for like $100, $60. I traded my boy Nas Pacino one for some other bullshit. I should have traded. But I'm glad to see the series is doing well. And we're into Jeff DeCall. I'll tell you, the next person, it might be me, post that Jeff DeCall 9.8 is going to get $3,000 for that book.
I see in the comments that Wonder World Comics is saying that he just found 1 through 6 of that. I guess that's the Something That's Killing the Children, and a pull box that a customer ditched. So once again, some stores do like a month or maybe 2 months, right? And then it's full. It's fair game. So times are hard. Yeah. I got it, man.
Well, let's
You're gonna be feeling that. You're gonna be feeling that when you see the prices of what you left in your box, man.
nostalgia is having people go crazy right now. And go ahead, Mel. What's up?
No, I was going to answer Blue Green Artifacts question. Said the call in the Department of Truth, how much are the lowest print runs? No, it's the call and the issue 6 half color, half non-color variant. The number 6 was the lowest print. Then the call.
Well, back to this nostalgia thing and this number 6 book, X-Men 266. All right?
It's because somebody kept saying it's not $1,000 9.8 yet, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's not? Okay, well, let me go buy a whole bunch of them and keep pushing up the price."
Well, 9.8s are now $750, $775, up from around $600 a month ago. For direct edition newsstand 9.8 seem extra difficult to find in this book. And Ben writes, it really shouldn't be any surprise with the massive rise of all things 90s. And is there anything more late 80s, early 90s than Gambit's David Lee Roth outfit?
I passed through this book more times than Tom Brady passed to Gronkowski in the Super Bowl.
I don't know what to think about this book, man. Like, this book forever was just death. Like, ever since the news announcement with Channing Tatum and the news on that movie just kept killing this book and killing it. But now nostalgia is going crazy. You're seeing people go crazy for X-Men cards. You're seeing people go crazy for anything X-Men shirts. Yay. Nostalgia is a wonderful thing. I love it. And I love to see it pushing books. I hope that's really what's pushing this. We all know the mutants are coming. They are 100% coming. We are going to see them soon.
What are you talking about, man? We've had
They're here,
with a mutant in Major Marvel. And shout out to all my WandaVision watchers because it's getting righteous.
Yeah. Well, I just I love seeing this book on anything and it be real reasons why it's, and I consider nostalgia a real good reason to see a book go up in price. People buy. It's, again, we go back to supply and demand. People like something, they buy the hell out of it, and there are a lot of these out there, but there's some value to it. So put those X-Men 266 up on the bay. If you guys maybe got a couple 9.8s, looks like you can get about 750, 775, maybe even more. Maybe this is 1,000 book by this time next month. I don't know. We'll see.
Jeez.
Number 5. Before we get to number 5, though, I'm going to give Mel a little bit time to stew here because I want to give a big shout out to Comic Barricade. Go check out comicbarricade.com if you guys want to use Comic Barricade to keep your all your books from falling over in a short box that maybe is not too full or long box and not too full. They also have them for slabs and magazine size in the Comic Barricade XL. Use the code word Flipside to get 10% off. That's comicbarricade.com. All right, Mel, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh boy, here we go. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 1 with the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur animation news and the casting of the voice cast. 9.8s are up from 275 to 350 plus. Yeah. Pretty damn cool. I'm glad to finally start seeing some tangible evidence to see this.
Now, is that for the Eden one, or is that for the regular one that's pictured here?
Well, what we're gonna do, you guys, we're gonna go and check it out. So, I imagine that we're seeing. Go ahead.
I believe it's the Von Eden that's fetching the really big numbers. I think this one's still moving at a really good pace, though.
This is regular cover. 350. Lucas has the 9.8 Von Eden. I tried to get off when I was drunk. Tried to get off when I was sober.
I still got a couple that are waiting in CGC.
Son of a bitch.
So you're seeing $100 raws on the first print Lafayette's.
Nice.
So that's not bad.
That hip hop variant, man. That's an interesting one.
Look at that one.
Look, 360 on a 9.8.
There you go.
William, look at that. 179 for the story thus far.
Yeah.
Issue 7, first appearance of Kid Cree. I'll tell you.
See, that's where I want to see it at because remember that Miles Morales, the Ultimate Fallout 4, there was that one to, was it 1 to 25, 1 to 50, whatever, and that was, everybody understood that what was going on with that. But then there was the regular print that's the prices started running up. So it's good to see that the first print, even though it's not that much, because look, if you look at that 9.6, that's only 350, and then if you're looking at the first print, that's not that much lower than that. You're seeing like 300. But this is going to be an interesting thing to watch through the next few months if people don't forget about this book. I mean, look at that hip hop variant, $40.
Look at that.
That Pope is
and Mel's broken down the variant before on chat.
Yeah.
Look at the action figure variant right there, pulling in $51.
But you know what I see, and see if you can look this up. Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur number 13. You don't see many listed.
No, because that time that we were on Drunken Chat and you reminded everybody about all the ones that were listed were gone.
Which time is that? Because I think he brings up Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur every Drunken Chat.
Well, it was a time that he let it chill for a little bit and he hadn't actually brought it back up. And I remember watching them pop back up and I added a whole bunch to my watch list. And I was like, yeah, I'll get them in a little bit. And then Mel mentions it and they all.
Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur 13. I said that is probably the rarest incentive number out there. Then that's just for incentive. Then we have the story this fall, which is number 7. Number 7 is first appearance of Kid Kree. Wouldn't be a bad idea to pick 7 just regular issues up. Moon Girl has a lot of road to go down. So if you want to get in it's still early.
Yeah.
Qualifier variants. We'll talk about those later. How about that?
Yes.
Yep. All right, on to number 4 this week, and we haven't had much talk that's been positive about Brian Bendis in a while, but this is some positive Brian Bendis stuff. We got a Brian Bendis book on the list at number 4. Cover Comics, HBO Max news, if I'm not mistaken, showing cover A's of cover 1. Went from $4 to $25 raw, and HBO Max puts out good. HBO puts out good stuff. We can all agree on that. I think we can all agree HBO is a great place for content. It's going to be interesting to see if this book gains any more value other than just the hype right off the option news. Sometimes they don't, get much more after that, but we'll see. I
never even heard of this book. I love David Mack though.
Yeah, David Mack is amazing. One of the most underrated comic book cover artists out there.
All those colors.
Yeah,
it's just watercolors. I remember trying to do watercolors when I was in kindergarten, and it just never looked like David Mack.
No. David Mack is a boss, that's for sure. But is Bendis isn't doing any more DC work, right? Is he writing? He's not writing any more DC stuff. I think he's done with Spider-Man or Superman.
Well, from the last I heard, right, that was the big thing, right? He was out of DC, or he was kicked out of Marvel, then he was kicked out of DC. From what I've been hearing, is that he's kind of like freelancing it right now. He's jumping back. He's just going wherever the heck he feels like it. So, yeah. So, and once again, I think it was like months ago when I told everybody, I was like, hey, Bendis, he's a proven commodity, right? So he's created a lot of characters. So don't throw any of this stuff aside. Just between the Miles Morales and I forget the name of the other ones, and to include the Jessica Jones. He's got a lot of characters out there. So don't shrug any of this stuff. And this is another example.
Can I say that
Absolutely.
maybe AT&T took his idea for Naomi and was like, hey man, why don't you stop doing comics and just be like an advisor on the side for our show? Maybe. And that would be the best thing that CW ever did, because they make a ton of poor choices.
Hey, Lucas, does Bendis get invited to the barbecue?
Well, as many black characters as he's invented and characters without that common black girl hairstyle. I'm talking about the girls without the gorilla glue in their freaking hair. Yeah, sure enough.
All right, before we get into the top 3, I want to give a shout out to the Comic Book Women, who got a really cool show coming up with Garrett Gunn. That is going to be Tuesday night at 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern. Garrett Gunn, the author of Franklin and Ghost and War Corns, really cool dude. Much respect to Garrett Gunn and what he's doing, what he's been through. And he sounds like a really cool comic creator that you guys definitely want to check out on Comic Book Women this Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And it sounds like they're going to announce something pretty cool with Garrett Gunn that he's got coming out soon.
Comic Women is the best show on the YouTube world.
Yeah, listen, people, go check them out. Definitely go check them out. Also, listen, you guys, shout out to comicbookinvest.com where you guys get the Hot 10 list every week. Go check them out. They have what I like to call the internet's version of Wizard Magazine. Some amazing, amazing articles over there. You can get the list every week. Right there on the side of the page that Ben Stein writes for comicbookinvest.com. Make sure you guys go check them out for all things comic speculation and news. All right, let's get on to number 3 this week, WandaVision. I don't know if this is WandaVision stuff. I don't know necessarily what this is, but this is on the spec of a character that I don't know how you say the name. It sounds like Shit'em to me, but
Shit'em
or shit on, one of the two. But like, how do you say the name? Is it Chthon? Chthon? It is what it is. But this character, if I remember correctly, this is the character that created the Darkhold. Is that
right?
Is that
Yes.
right?
Yep. So that's the character that I was talking about. Was that last week? Was that when I did that whole long thing when it was like 3:00 in the morning and everybody was falling asleep? Yes. So right before Rata was getting ready to kill everybody, he quickly wrote down the Dark Scrolls, and that Dark Scrolls allows him and the other Elder Gods to come back. Every single King in the Black story, every single story with Namor, Black Panther, that Dark Scroll has been showing up over and over again. It's been in different names. It's like the Forgot Stone or the Crystal whatever. But that is written by Chthon. So even in Amazing Spider-Man, he wrote, I forget what it's called. It's called the Tablet of Death and Entropy. That's what it's called over there. And it's been around since at least the 1960s or maybe at least the 70s, I believe. So it's going to be interesting. But I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this. Is this his first appearance for Chthon or what
Yes.
is this?
Yes,
It's his first. And basically this was somebody's spec play and it caught on and it caught like fire, and now the book's selling, but it's still spec. So
what does it have to do with WandaVision?
Because they're saying that he's the guy behind it all. He's the villain. Possible villain. I
thought it was Mephisto. I thought that's already been established with the pop.
Well,
Mephisto was there, right? So
he was chilling.
Right. Yeah. So when all this was going down, there was a whole bunch of under gods, like gods of like the underworld. So there was this one chick. I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce the name because they got all too many consonants and not enough vowels in there.
It's kind of like shit on.
Real fortunate.
Yeah. There's Mephisto. Hela was there. So there was a whole bunch of underworld characters that were there, and they were trying to do something in order to destroy mankind, or at least in order to make sure that all mankind believed them again. And all they did was just brought back the Demigurge. And Chthon freaking freaked out, and he was like, "All right, let me write this down real quick because I'm about to die." And that's where this whole thing comes from.
Okay. Well, we'll see. This book looks like it's $10 to $15 raw. Now it looks like maybe 40 to 60. Does that sound right? Let's take a look at what it's selling for. But again, this is Avengers 186. And listen, we've all been telling people for a while is that this Avengers run at this time period is what you guys need to be looking at. So we'll see what this is selling for. 1 second here.
Mel's getting steak delivered.
Yeah, he's good at that. Avengers 186, the first appearance of Chthon, or shit on as I like to say it. It looks like 186 and 187. They're going for about $50, and this is about a $30 raw book, as high as $81
For sure.
Yeah. But listen, the crazy thing is if you remember correctly, this run right here, this 185, 186, 187 run is the key. People have been saying the key to this series, this WandaVision series, for a while, right? So if you've got any of these older Avengers in the late 100s, you might want to look at putting them up on the bay and getting a little cheese for them while you can. This character might be the big bad, and it might move the needle a little more. It might not be the big bad, and you might make a little buck, but who knows? Again, this is like Lucas said, a billions of year old elder god or something like that. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how old this character was. If you remember Robert Howard, right, who was the one that built the whole
Conan universe.
Conan, the Chaluthu, and all that stuff. Chahathan was a part of this whole deal, so it goes way back even before that. So this may not even be the first appearance of this character. Period. This may be the first Marvel appearance, but it may not be the first total appearance, right? Because I forget the Weird Tales books from like the 1930s and all that other stuff. They definitely make some appearances in there. You just got to look for them, and that's all I got on that one. So be careful.
On to number 2 this week, and this is a book cover that I definitely like, and I hope that this is for the cover and not the character. I mean, I don't know, the character could be good. Number 2 this week is the Taskmaster number 3 variant, the 1 in 25 Shane Davis variant. A gorgeous cover on this book. He's doing the whole shirt thing that we've seen J. Scott Campbell do in the last month or so, where he's got a character kind of form-fitting on another character's shirt. I like the design. I think it's really cool, but it's also the first appearance of Taikagu, which is the name of the South Korean flag. That I do know. And the character literally looks like the South Korean flag. If I can show you guys here, this is what the character looks like.
He's South Korean Captain America.
Yes, exactly. So this is your character, as Mel calls him, Pepsi Man.
That's Pepsi Man to me. That makes me thirsty.
I think it's cool. I got to be honest. I think it's cool that they named him the name of the flag. If they were going to go this route, that's a cool thing. I like that. I think that's a real cool little piece. I don't know if they thought about the character design too well, because I think that's what a lot of people are going to say. And I know it's a little ignorant, not knowing, there's a lot of people out there that don't know that this is the South Korean flag, but it is what it is. And
I definitely didn't know it was the South Korean flag, and I don't want to offend anybody.
It's what Americans do best. We offend people, and we're taking disrespect to their flag. So I will say this issue was surprisingly really, really good. And if you read it, you probably saw there was a ton of action front to back. And we got to see a character we hadn't seen pop up in a while, too. I thought that was pretty cool. So it's a pretty good spec play, man. It's got a lot of stuff going on in the issue, plus the banging cover, plus nobody's really ordering this Taskmaster book. There isn't a whole lot of these on shelves. And the 1 in 25 was really hard to get locally, and I caught the FOMO.
Yeah, here you guys can see the regular cover to Taskmaster number 3. Listen, Taskmaster is such a great character in the comics. One of the best, villain / I don't even know if you could call him a villain, an anti-hero, right? Really cool, funny character. But there you go. There's your first appearance of Takugi.
Is this going to be a situation? Is he in multiple panels and he doesn't speak?
Oh yeah. No, he speaks multiple panels, multiple pages. Mm-hmm. He tries to use heat vision on Taskmaster, and So basically, like I said, he is the he's South Korean's version of Captain America.
Yeah.
He and we even see like I said, if you read the issue, if you read this miniseries, you know what this miniseries is about. It's about Taskmaster basically being hunted for the death of Maria Hill, and he's like saying the whole way, I didn't do it, while beating the crap out of everybody who's chasing him, trying to kill him for the murder of Maria Hill. So
Wow.
One more issue to go, and we'll see how this 4-issue miniseries wraps up, huh?
The variant is hitting $102 right now.
Oh yeah,
because the limited availability. I watched them sell out on eBay, and then a couple of them got reloaded right around the $50 mark, and they sold like almost instantly.
Yeah,
and then there was one auction left, and I don't know if that's the only remaining auction still out there, but it's wonderful to watch what's going on with this one.
Well, I keep this on my when people forget about Scoogie.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I think this is a great cover, and great covers sell books. Great covers have always sold books. They'll continue to sell books. This is one of them. Whether there's a first appearance in it or not, this book will sell because of this cover. Before we get on to number 2, I want to remind all 180 live viewers that are watching right now to make sure to hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate you guys when you guys take the time to do that. Also, make sure to like and subscribe, and also hit that bell so you guys are notified whenever this guy right here drops a Wednesday night presser every Wednesday night on Tales from the Flipside channel, doing really good stuff over there, Ultra. We appreciate what you do. I hope everybody that's watching it is loving a Wednesday Warrior show on the channel where you guys get notified of all the cool new books and some of the cool storylines that are going out in comics each week.
A little bit of spec.
Little bit. On to number 1. Yeah, there's your Mephisto, Mel.
Yeah.
Mephisto. Listen. This is a great book. It's a classic Silver Surfer book, a classic cover, a book that most of us that have been collecting comics for a while have kind of said, I will pick that book up the next time I see it.
And it's too late.
And it's too late. Yeah. So Silver Surfer.
Never too late. It's just going to cost more.
It's going to cost more. Silver Surfer.
That's too late for me.
Right.
Insane sales figures. A 5.5 sold for $900, a 6.0 sold for $1,100, a 7.5 sold for $1,600, a 9.0 sold for $3,700, which is nearly 3 times the prior all-time high, and that is just for this week. So listen, it's kind of hard to bet on villains in hero books for the long term, right? So just remember that this is hero over villain, and
right.
These villain books seem to drop in the long run.
Right.
He's the devil. The devil.
Right. So that's the point that I was going to make, is that you got to remember this is Disney, right? And Disney is going to have a hard time dealing with the moms of America when it comes to devils, right?
I said that about Devil Dinosaur.
The dinosaur, you could say Moon Girl and Dinosaur. They don't have to say Devil Dinosaur. Nobody's really paying attention to the Devil Dinosaur bit because they never really explain why they called them Devil Dinosaur. I don't believe, but this is actual Mephisto from Hell's Bells, the devil. They bad enough had enough trouble with the whole Ghost Rider thing and the fact that he got his powers from the devil. They when you looked at the way that they introduced Hela. Right, that was another character that they went all the way around, even though her powers are literally from hell. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do it. They'll probably do the whole Lucifer thing where they emphasize his character and personality and everything. But the whole thing about the fact that he kind of makes people do bad stuff, they're going to freaking put that on a burner and hope moms of America don't notice. Just saying, if they bring them in at all.
WandaVision is so damn good, they're gonna brush the shit under the rug.
Well, they're listening. There were a couple,
they gotta make them sexy.
Yeah, there were a couple other books, you guys. I want to give a shout out to Newbie Comics. I see him in the chat.
I see him.
Yeah, his call on Micronauts 8 caused a lot of talk over this week. So I wouldn't be surprised if that book continues to move or something. We'll see. We're keeping a really close eye on that book. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that book maybe on the list next week, as also with that Spider-Woman cover that is coming out soon. That I think, yeah. So shout out to Lucas on that one. Listen, there are some really good books that I wouldn't be surprised you see on the list next week. And make sure you guys stick around and go check out the Mighty Mel V channel for Drunken Chat after this.
And we'll continue this conversation.
We'll continue this conversation. Listen, please hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, and let us know how we're doing. Leave a comment below on the YouTube channel. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we will see you guys next time. Adios.